We're going to check out the latest Madden 23 ratings and how that pertains to the Broncos. But first, be honest with me. Do you guys still even play Madden? Like, producer Coop and I were talking right before we started filming, and we agreed Madden probably started going downhill right around Madden the 25 anniversary with Barry Sanders on the cover. Next year, I'm pretty sure it was Richard Sherman on the cover, and ever since then, I really haven't bought a Madden. But let me know before we really jump into the show if you still play Madden with a simple Y for yes or N for no. Today's edition of the Broncos Breakdown is sponsored by Mint Mobile. They've got so many awesome deals right now for Broncos Country. Listen, they have cell phone plans starting as low as $15 a month. You may have already heard of them or seen some of their ads with actor Ryan Reynolds. Get started right now at mintmobile.com/chatsports. Links in the comments, the description. Plus, we're going to tell you more about their awesome benefits later on. But let's jump into the Madden 23 ratings here, as we're going to just kind of dissect and break down some of these, honestly, bad ratings. I'm going to put it that way. I'm not alone in this either. Do not let EA Sports get to you. I'm going to put this out here right now. I believe EA Sports puts out bad ratings on players and teams so that we talk about it then. Or else if they just put out decent and good ratings, they'd be like, all right, new Madden ratings are out, moving along. But because they put out controversial ones, it gets all of us pissed off on Twitter, and it's probably good for business because then people talk about it more and it results in more sales. But here's how the Broncos shook down. All right, their overall team ratings, they gave them an overall of 84, which was tied for 12th best. And we're going to go through the top 15 so you can see how that compares to other teams. Defense, they gave a 78. Offense, an 84. And special teams was an 81. Now, here's how they shook out compared to other teams in the league. The Bucs come in at first. That's fine. That makes sense. Whatever. Probably not even a little bit, but regardless. Bills, Rams, Packers, Ravens following suit. I thought Baltimore was a bit high for a team that didn't make the playoffs last year. I know they had bad injuries, but still tied for 5th. Chargers, I thought Cowboys at 7th was outlandish. Chiefs, Niners, Eagles in top 10. I think you're reaching there a little bit. Now, let's get closer to where Denver landed, all right? Moving on here, the Bengals tied for 10th as well. Then you get to the Broncos, tied with the Cardinals and the Browns for 12th, just ahead of the Faders. So that's where Denver ranked, and I thought it was pretty criminally low. I think any sane person would pick the Broncos over, honestly, the Cowboys. Is that a hot take? I don't think so at all. But the Cowboys being all the way at 7, that was a bit of a head-scratcher right there. Now, when you look at the Madden QB ratings here, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, top 3. Then you got Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, Prescott, Dak at 6. No, but okay. Herbert, Lamar, Russ coming in at 9, or tied at least with Lamar at 87. Stafford barely cracking the top 10 after winning a Super Bowl. Kyler Murray's at 11. Watson's at 12. Carr, that has Raiders fans really pissed off at 13. Tannehill, then Ryan, and so on and so on. I don't need to say all those names, but it's Russell Wilson tied for 9th. That's really catching my eye here. But going over this list before I kind of even talk about Russ a little bit more, who is the most overrated quarterback, right? Who was on that list that you're like, excuse me? That guy is way too high for where he is. Let me know what you think down below. Moving on to wide receivers really quickly. No surprise here. No Broncos wide receiver cracked the top 10, but I thought I would just share it with you guys just for shits and giggles here. But here's where you see the first Broncos receiver. Later on in the ratings, it's when you get to the 20s where Courtland Sutton finishes 27th. Right ahead of Jaylen Waddle and right behind Hunter Renfrow. Now, if you're curious how that stacks up to everyone else on the Broncos wide receiver room, Sutton finishes ahead of Jeudy, who ranked 82 overall, Tim Patrick at 80, and KJ Hamler at 75. I don't have much of a beef with Hamler at 75. You still got to prove it. Honestly, that may be even higher than where I would have put him for someone that's been injured to start 2 years, a little bit here and there. Patrick at 80, that's fine. Everyone else wants to overlook him. That's nothing new. Jeudy and Sutton, I think, are on the lower end I would bump them up a notch or two, but this is Madden. They like to put out BS ratings. We've got more Madden ratings to get to in just a second, but like I mentioned at the top of the show today, Mint Mobile is our proud sponsor, and they've got great benefits for all of you watching at home. Not only do they have unlimited talk and text, but high-speed data on the nation's largest 5G network with a mobile hotspot to go along with it, and all this starting at $15 a month. And maybe best of all, you don't have to spend half a day or even a full day going into a cell phone provider store and making the change. No, you can do it all from the comfort of your own home. Keep your same phone. Keep your same phone number. Thanks to new eSIM technology, it can all be done while sitting on your tushy. So get started right now at mintmobile.com/chatsports. Links right there. It's also in the comments and the description of today's episode. Let's get to the running backs now. Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams ranking at 21st and 23rd respectively, sandwiching Damien Harris. Excuse me? Melvin Gordon over Javonte Williams. It's moments like this that make me wonder, do they watch football? Because I know that they finished pretty much neck and neck last year when you compare their stats. But is there any person out there that is picking Melvin Gordon over Javonte Williams? I mean, this is where Madden really makes my skin crawl of, do the eye test. Because Madden is hypocritical. What they like to do is they like to award veterans, right? People that have proven it before just believing, well, Javonte Williams last year had 903 yards or whatever it was. He's ascending. He's on the right track. Madden goes, maybe, but we want to see you prove it first. But they have this double standard that does not apply to all situations. That's what really ticks me off. But I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Who is the better running back? Is it Melvin Gordon or is it Javonte Williams? Put the jersey number for the guy you think is the better RB down in the comments section. On to the tight end room here. Albert Okwuegbunam ranking in at 32nd overall. We won't spend too much time up on this graphic just because it's not really all that noteworthy. I mean, not a surprise in my opinion, right? 74 for first-year starting tight end? Yeah, that checks out to me. Maybe, no, I'm fine with that. I have so many grievances to file. This is not going to be one of them. Now we go over to the defensive side of things here. Not a lot of love. Randy Gregory ranking the highest at 81. Chubb dips below 80. He falls to 78. That one was a bit of a surprise to me. Well, no. Actually, let me take that back here. Honestly, it's probably a good slice of humble pie for Bradley Chubb. Because I know 78, you just start thinking of school. It's a C+. He's better than a C+ edge defender when he's healthy. But we haven't seen it in a while. So maybe this is the fuel Chubb needs to be if I didn't have enough doubt behind me right now, Madden's the one that's going to push me over the edge to go out and show that I was the Broncos rookie single-season sack holder back in 2018. Now, if you guys are ready for training camp, which is just a couple of days away, make sure you are subscribed. We've got daily Broncos content coming your way when you click that sub button down below. Let's continue moving on here on the defensive side of things. Now I get pissed off. Patrick Surtain, who many veterans said in his rookie season was teach tape material. 20th with an 83 overall ratings. That is blasphemy, to quote the word of Screamin' A. I mean, just BS. I honestly think Surtain is going to take the biggest step forward of anyone on this Broncos roster. And that says a lot because he set the bar really high for himself in his rookie season when he recorded 4 interceptions and had a pick 6 in the Chargers game. Also in the preseason. Shout out to the Vikings game. But regardless, 20th, this is the kind of stuff that makes my skin crawl a little bit. Darby at 78, I thought that was a little low. I think both those players should be high. K'Wan Williams was a great slot pickup, but that's fine. Madden, clearly they just look at the big names and then they just pick a number out of thin air, and K'Wan Williams is not a name just yet, so they're like, 77 sounds fine. But you really think Darby and K'Wan Williams are just 1 point difference separate apart? No. Darby is not a bad corner whatsoever, and Surtain at 83 is frankly BS. But we're not going to just, harp on the Madden side of things here. Let's kind of go back to reality. I want to play a quick over-under game with all of you guys watching. Over or under 4 interceptions for Surtain this year? Let me know down below. Will he outdo his rookie performance, or Was that way too high of a bar to reach? It happens with corners. Interceptions come, interceptions go. You kind of need some breaks here and there. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments. Let's get to the safety room, because what football are they watching? Like, Tyrann Mathieu's a good corner. That's fine and all. He is not the best corner in the he's not the best safety in the NFL. He's just not. Right? Would anyone pick Tyrann Mathieu to have their first safety choice in any sort of draft if you were a GM? No. Justin Simmons at 5, honestly, I was expecting more disrespect, so I'm not even all that upset about it. At least he cracked the top 5 as he should. K-Jack at 81, Caden Stearns, a nice 69 overall rating. This is, like I said earlier, there's so many issues with the Madden ratings. I'm not going to get my blood boiling over Simmons being 5 when maybe you could argue for 4. That's fine with me. Let the primetime games this year speak for themselves when everyone gets to see what a special safety Simmons is. As for the offensive line, a couple of other quick position groups we're going to run through here just to show you the overall ratings. Garrett Bowles, the highest rated lineman up front with an 82 rating. Maybe not as high as you would like for a guy who's having, making $20 million, one of your highest paid players, but that's another discussion for another day. On the defensive line here, this is where like the overall ratings really got dragged down by the average, because you got DJ Jones the highest at 76. If that's the ceiling, that's not going to help the team's overall rating much, no doubt about it. As for the linebackers here, Josey Jewell, Alex Singleton, Jonas Griffith, not a love being shown, and that's fine. Like I said, I don't think I would argue much higher for any of these players either. I mean, again, when you watch the team day in and day out, you get upset because you're like, Jonas Griffith, what he showed over the last 5 weeks of the season was way better than 69. But when you do Madden ratings, you just kind of take a little bit, look at some stats, and go, yeah, we'll slap a number. Let's go with that number overall. Now, here are the top-ranked Broncos across the board. Simmons leading the way with a 91 overall rating. Russell Wilson at 87. I thought it was too low. In fact, can we please go back to the QB ratings, because I really want to pick a bone here. Courtland Sutton at 84. Gordon ahead of Williams. Blasphemy. Jeudy at 82. Gregory at 81. K-Jack and Patrick, so on and so on. But let's go back to the Madden QB ratings. Russell Wilson, 9th best QB. See, this is what I meant earlier. Joe Burrow is possibly a top 5 quarterback, but this does not follow the Madden logic of you have to prove it. You didn't see top 5 QB play out of Burrow in his rookie year. I'm not saying what he did last year does not reconcile him being top 5. I'm not arguing against that. But they're not consistent. Because why is Burrow top 5 when you know he's on the right track? But Surtain cannot be top 10 or top 15, even though he is also on the right track, right? You see what I'm saying? You got to have it both ways. You can't be, well, Burrow looks like he's going to be a top 5 QB this year. But Surtain, no, we got to wait and see. And so now I kind of go back to Russell Wilson. Yeah, this is BS. Give me Russell Wilson over Dak Prescott every single day of the week that ends in the letter Y. That is just the worst. No. Producer Jeff is a Cowboys fan. There's no argument. No one would pick Dak over Russell Wilson. So I think I know what the answer is going to be to this next question before we get on out of here. Did EA Sports do a good job in their ratings? Type G for good or type B for bad. I think they did a bad job, but let me know what you think down below. And hey, if you have not subscribed to the channel already, please make sure you go ahead and do so. Never miss a breaking Broncos news or rumor story when you are subscribed.